Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tips. My name is Julian, and this is the waiver wire video for week 24 of the fantasy hockey season. For a lot of you guys, this is the first week of the playoffs for you. So if it is, guys, good luck with that, and I hope that I can help you with this video. For the rest of you guys, this is the second week of the playoffs. If it is, guys, I hope you won your week 1 matchups with ease, and hopefully I can help you again with this week 2 of the playoff matchups. Before we get started, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow me on Twitter at FantasyTip. I'm going to be tweeting to also add some more information and more things to help you guys win your matchups. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into the schedule for this week. And it's a pretty standard schedule, guys. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday are the off nights as usual. The least busy nights are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's pretty much it, guys. The team that has the best schedule with regards to off nights is the Tampa Bay Lightning. They play on all 4 off nights, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So streaming Tampa Bay players for this week is a solid idea. And then the Boston Bruins, the St. Louis Blues, and the Winnipeg Jets all also play on 3 out of the 4 off nights this week. So they're also really good teams to be streaming players from this week. Now, there are a couple of teams that have a pretty bad schedule this week, and by that I mean they only do play 2 games this week, and for the fantasy playoffs, that's not ideal. Those teams are Chicago and Vegas. So if you have some lower-owned Chicago Blackhawks or Vegas Golden Knights, you could consider dropping them. For example, a guy like Nicolas Roy is definitely not someone I'm holding this week because he's only getting a couple games and he's not that valuable anyway. A guy like Evgeny Dadonov, you're going to have to make a decision. Is he worth holding on your team? I know he's really hot right now. He's playing really well. He's playing on the top line and top power play. Is he worth holding for only 2 games? Depends how deep your league is, really. If there's somebody better available there that's going to get you more points over more games, it may be worth dropping a guy like Dadonov as well. So jumping into some forwards that you can consider grabbing for this week, and number 1 on the list is Andrew Kopp of the New York Rangers, playing on a line with Panarin and Ryan Strome. And he's playing some great hockey right now, putting up points left and right. Definitely someone I love to stream right now. And then I have Alex Killorn of the Tampa Bay Lightning, 57% rostered. And he hasn't necessarily been the best over the past month, but he's starting to put up points again now. And like I said, guys, the Lightning have the best off-night schedule out of any team. They play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So odds are you're able to fit him all of the nights. And that's why Killorn's actually a pretty good streamer for this week. Then I have Brock Nelson of the New York Islanders, 50% rostered, and he's just been outstanding as of late. He's been one of the best players in the league over the past few weeks, and definitely someone that I'm grabbing for this week because he's really going to help you get through the playoffs if he's somehow still available. Then I have Valeri Nichushkin of the Colorado Avalanche, 41% rostered, and with McKinnon back in the lineup, he's playing on that line with McKinnon and with Rantanen, also on the top power play. That deployment is fantastic for Nichushkin, and until Landeskog comes back, if he even does, Nichushkin has a lot of value. And then I have Dylan Strome of the Chicago Blackhawks, 36% rostered, and I understand that Chicago has a pretty bad schedule this week, but Strome has just been so good that getting 2 games from Strome may still be worth having him on your team. If he's on the free agency, I'm not necessarily adding him if there's players that play more games that are around the same level of talent that are going to get you about the same points per game. But if you do have him on your team already, and there's not anybody else that's really better available, Dylan Strome is still someone that I could consider for this week, even though he does only play 2 games. Then I have Nico Hischier of the New Jersey Devils, and he's just been outstanding. I've put him on this list quite a few times now, and he's still only 35% rostered. Guys, Hischier's playing some fantastic hockey. He should be added in a lot more leagues. And then I have Ivan Barbashev of the St. Louis Blues, not playing the best hockey in the world, but the Blues do have a pretty good off-night schedule this week, and he's playing on a line with Kyrou and Braden Schenn. So he's definitely in a position to succeed, and he's just got to have the production. So if there's nobody else available for the off nights and Barbashev's floating out there, he's not the worst option. And then I have Anthony Cirelli of the Tampa Bay Lightning, 30% rostered, playing on a line with Killorn and Palat. Obviously, those guys aren't the hottest right now, but Cirelli's actually started to put up some points lately, and Killorn has as well. So like I said, the Lightning have an amazing off-night schedule, so Cirelli is actually a pretty solid streamer for this week. And then I have Robert Thomas playing between Tarasenko and Buchnevich. That's a really, really good line. And he's been putting up points in the last few games. So he's hot right now. The Blues have a great off-night schedule. He's someone that I really do like streaming for this week and next week as well. And then I have Frank Vatrano of the New York Rangers, and ever since he's been traded to New York, he's been absolutely fantastic. Playing on that top line with Kreider and Zibanejad, he's been putting up points almost every single night. He's been scoring goals. He's honestly a really good grab. And then I have Charlie Coyle of the Boston Bruins, and even though he's only playing on their third line, he's actually playing some pretty solid hockey. He's putting up points, putting up some decent numbers, and that's why I don't mind grabbing him for Boston's off nights this week. And then I have Brandon Saad of the St. Louis Blues, plays top line with O'Reilly and with Perron, and he's only 11% rostered, but he's actually been pretty decent all year. He definitely could be higher rostered, and for the off nights, I definitely don't mind him. Then I have Seth Jarvis of the Carolina Hurricanes, and Carolina now has Seth Jarvis on the top line with Aho, and he has been producing. He's been producing in a bizarrely consistent pattern. He puts up 2 points, and then the next game he'll put up nothing, and then the next game he'll put up 2 points again, and then nothing again. It's kind of strange, but as long as he keeps putting up those 2-point nights, he's a pretty good streamer at only 9% rostered. And then I have Paul Stastny of the Winnipeg Jets. And again, Winnipeg has a really good off-night schedule this week. And he's playing on the top line with Ehlers and with Mark Scheifele. And as long as he sticks there, he's a pretty good streamer, and he is on a 3-game point streak right now. And then I have my Manscaped must-add player of the video, Eric Holla. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code word FANTASYTIP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code word FANTASYTIP. Get wet and clean with your new Manscaped shower routine. Now, why is Eric Holla my Manscaped must-add player of the video? Well, he's been phenomenal lately. Over his last 5 games, he has 8 points, and he has really looked good. He's playing on that line with Pasternak and Taylor Hall, which is a great place to be. Plus, Boston have those off nights this week. That's why Eric Holla is someone that I'm definitely adding ahead of this week. Then I have Jake DeBrusk of the Boston Bruins, playing on that top line with Bergeron and Marchand, and obviously he's not as hot as he was a few weeks ago when he was scoring points left and right, but he's still on that top line, and with the off nights that Boston has this week, he's not a terrible ad, and he hasn't been terrible either. Then I have Ilya Mikheyev of the Toronto Maple Leafs, 5% roster. He's playing on the second line actually with Tavares and Kerfoot right now. And if he sticks there, he's not a terrible lad. He puts up some decent peripherals, and he's been putting up points every couple of games as well. So definitely not a bad ad in deeper leagues. Then have Yakov Trenin of the Nashville Predators, 2% rostered, playing on that line with Sissons and with Jeannot. That's a good line, and Jeannot has been pretty good lately. So Trenin is going to get 4 games this week, assuming you can fit him in your schedule. In deep leagues, he's honestly a pretty solid ad at only 2% rostered. Then I have Casey Middlestad of the Buffalo Sabres, and I've been recommending him for a few weeks now, and he's actually been putting up some solid points lately. Last year, he went on a pretty crazy run with points towards the end of the season. He may be doing the same thing right now, and at only 2% rostered, I definitely don't mind the pickup. And last but not least, I have Zach Sanford, only 1% rostered, and was recently moved up onto the second line in Winnipeg with Wheeler and with Pierre-Luc Dubois. It's not a terrible place to be, and he also tends to put up some pretty decent peripherals. So Sanford, if he can start putting up points as well on that line, definitely a solid ad for the off nights this week. And then I have Jared Spurgeon on the Minnesota Wild, 57% rostered, and he's manning the top power play in Minnesota, putting up points every game or two. It's not a terrible thing for a defenseman, and if you do need a defenseman who's going to put up some points, he's a pretty good ad. And then I have Shane Gostisbehere of the Arizona Coyotes, 48% rostered, and he's manning their top power play, putting up points. The dude's been pretty solid all year, so if you need points, Gostisbehere is a good guy to add. Then Ben Sherratt, someone who's been doing really well with Florida, actually putting up some really solid peripherals, and plus minus has been good, and he's even been managing to put up a point or two every now and then. Then I have Damon Severson of the New Jersey Devils, and he's still manning their top power play. He's on a 5-game point streak, looking really good. Definitely someone I don't mind adding. Then I have Vince Dunn of the Seattle Kraken, and he's been phenomenal ever since Giordano has been traded. He's their top power play quarterback now, getting more ice time, and he's looked really good. I could have made him my Manscaped must add as well, but Eric Holla was a little bit too tempting with that off-night schedule. Vince Dunn, though, is definitely a great defenseman to be adding right now. Then I have Mattias Ekholm of the Nashville Predators, and I think this might be the first time I recommend him all year, but he's actually playing significantly better. He's putting up points every couple of games or so and putting up some semi-decent peripherals. So because of that, Ekholm is someone that I don't mind adding for this week. And then Predators do play 4 games this week. Then I have Sean Durzi of the Los Angeles Kings, and he's manning their top power play with Doughty gone. And last game that I watched, he got 9 blocks. So the dude's actually putting up some peripherals too right now, on top of the points that he's going to get with that top power play. He's definitely a really good ad. Then I have Alexandre Carrier, and he's someone who's super underrated in the league. He's putting up some pretty decent peripherals almost the entire season. And over his last couple of games, he has 4 assists, which is really, really good. So let's see if he can continue this hot pace. And at worst, though, he's going to get you some decent peripherals with only 3% rostered. It doesn't hurt to pick him up in deep leagues. Then I have Michael Del Zotto of the Ottawa Senators, and this is an interesting one because he's only played 14 games all year. For some reason, Ottawa has buried him in the AHL this season, but he is playing right now. And over the 14 games that he did play, he actually has 9 points. So he's managing to put up some points, and he's playing on their second power play right now. And if Brandstrom continues to not produce, he could potentially be elevated to their top power play. So let's see how it goes. And even right now, he's still putting up points. So I don't mind adding Del Zotto if you're super desperate in a super deep league. And then I have Ville Heinola of the Winnipeg Jets, 0% rostered. But over 3 games, he has 2 assists so far, and he's not looking half bad. He's also getting time on Winnipeg's second power play unit, so I don't mind the ad if you're desperate and in a deep league. Jumping into some goalies now, and first I have Mikko Koskinen of the Edmonton Oilers, and he is the starter right now in Edmonton, playing much better than Mike Smith. And as long as he keeps playing well, he is the guy and definitely a solid streamer for the playoffs. Then I have Reimer and Koskinen of the San Jose Sharks, and right now they're splitting the starts about 50-50. And if you need a guy who starts about half the starts, if you can't find anyone who starts more games or whatever it is, they're both pretty decent options. Same thing with LA. They split the starts about 50-50 between Quick and Peterson, so they're both decent starts there as well. Then I have Anton Forsberg of the Ottawa Senators, and he is the starter there. So if you want a full-time starter on a worse team, he's honestly a pretty good option. Then I have Eric Kallgren of the Toronto Maple Leafs, 29% rostered, and he is the starter right now because Mrazek is injured for 6 weeks, but Campbell has been medically cleared to return. So as soon as he does, Kallgren doesn't really have any value anymore. But Campbell still hasn't actually practiced, so Kallgren could still see another start or 2. Then I have Kevin Lankinen of the Chicago Blackhawks, 28% rostered, has not been very good so far since Fleury left. However, he is still the starter, assuming Colin Delia does not steal the crease, which he shouldn't, because I know Chicago wants Lankinen to be their goalie of the future, so they should really be giving him as many starts as possible to get his confidence back. Then I have Jake Allen of the Montreal Canadiens, 28% rostered, playing pretty well, and he is their starter going forward until the season ends because Price at this point is not coming back. And then I have Karel Vejmelka of the Arizona Coyotes, 15% rostered, and he's starting every single game right now. He even started the back-to-back set recently, so he's definitely someone that you're going to want to stream in points-based leagues because he does get peppered with shots. And then I have Craig Anderson of the Buffalo Sabres, and he is the starter in Buffalo. And Tokarski has not been playing that well, so Anderson will continue to get the bulk of the starts in Buffalo. And then Nico Daws of the New Jersey Devils, 7% rostered, is the starter there, and he is the lowest rostered goalie here. So if there's nobody else available, Daws still is getting starts in New Jersey. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I hope you guys win your matchups this week, and I hope you guys win that playoff trophy. Good luck, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.